Loyalty pledge, your boy you see next. How that mag and shoddy work. Can't rid this smell with bath and body works. It's sad and probably worse. First the chroma spit. Wise guys do drive-bys and don't own a whip. Time come, divine sons need a song to rip. Thugs in harmony, cool, I got a bone to pick.
Head on over to Spotify and all other streaming platforms. Check out the NoMercyTV Podcast. Yo, No Mercy here. Trap New York shit, NoMercyTV.com. You know what time it is, man. Sly T in the building.
Man? Sly T, Low Lifes TV, man. What's up, Mercy? What's up, Drew?
And we have a special guest in the building, man.
Yes.
I know a lot of people have a ton of questions about this man, you know, with all the stuff that's been going on with Battle Truth, et cetera, et cetera. But before we get started, one thing I wanted to point out to y'all, I actually fuck with Jules. You understand me? Like, I've seen him on the live with Battle Truth, et cetera, et cetera. And I just feel like his train of thought is different than Battle Truth. He don't reflect all of the gossipy, trolly shit that Battle Truth do. And I actually have a lot of respect for this dude and just, you know, how he carries himself. So this is why I want to be. You feel me? And it's not just about the Battle Truth shit. I actually do want to speak on, you know, his story and everything, because his story, even outside of battle rap, is also, you know, very important to what he got going on. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Tell him who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Man, how y'all doing, man? My name Julian, aka Jules, running Jules Gaming Lounge, Battle Truth's ex co-host. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh man. I'm ready for questions, man. We can get to it. I mean, let's get everybody out the way, man. I mean, they know they've been waiting on this, man.
Yeah. Let me say this real quick.
You don't walk them into it. They don't get the dessert. You don't go into the restaurant and get the dessert right off top. No, you gotta get that. You get your water, then you get your complimentary bread, then you get your appetizer, then you get your entree, then you get your dessert.
Right. Let me say one thing real quick. I've said it a couple of times, so it's not like it's the first time I've seen you here. So I'm about to say this. Mercy attest to this. When I put the video out on ADEB, right? I took back what I said to you. It was wrong for me to point that out as a joke. And I just want to apologize to you, man. Like, I've said it a couple of times now that I do regret putting that part in there. But
apology accepted, brother.
I want to say it again. It was literally on my side. I was just cracking jokes, but
understood.
It didn't really sit well with me, and I'm just like, it was. So I don't
mind people cracking jokes, man. I don't mind people cracking jokes. I mean, it seems like everybody else does, because the people that be in my situation, they got family members that's in that situation, kind of like that. Even though I don't mind the jokes, it's other people that more than mind them than I do.
Yeah. So I do. I want to.
I'm not above being roasted. Not at all.
Good. And one more thing before we get into it, hit me up if you want the ADAP shirts. I got the barely poppin' shirts. Let me know if you want one. All right, let's get into it, man. Jules, man.
My camera real quick.
Let me hear about you, man. Let's hear the story. What happened? Well, before the battle shoot. Before the battle shoot. No. I'm talking about him. Like,
yeah.
But what was your situation?
I was gonna ask where he was from first. You feel me?
I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. I stay in South Carolina.
Man. That's my team.
Oh, hell no. The Bengals. Whoa. Damn, definitely not the Bengals. But I've been staying in South Carolina, since like 2008.
Okay.
And in 2000.
We're not doing this interview for no money. Let's not do that. Please.
Oh, no. Oh, let's get that out the way. Did anybody pay you to be here?
No, man, absolutely not.
Need no money from
absolutely not.
No,
I don't ask people for money. I mean, I give away money on the gaming lounge, so that's not. No, I'm definitely not doing this for no cash, man.
Facts. You feel me?
So you've been in South Carolina.
Yeah, I was in South Carolina. I moved to South Carolina in like 2008, and in 2016, I got shot 9 to 12 times for selling 15 grams of weed by the police.
Mm-hmm.
So you feel comfortable talking about that?
Yeah, I don't mind.
All right, so go into that situation, man, because how did that all start? Like you was doing your thing, trapping, or however everybody want to call it. How did they get to the point where they ran in your crib?
My girlfriend's friend came and bought some weed from me. She got my girlfriend's friend at the time.
What's good, Harvey?
She had got pulled over in a car with her boyfriend. And he was already on probation for selling weed, and he had some weed on him. So she was trying to prove like she was gonna be the ride or die chick for him, and end up taking the charge for him. But when they got her to lock up, they told her that she was gonna lose her military benefits for catching a drug case because she got medically discharged from the military. And once they told her that she was going catching a drug case would jeopardize her military benefits, they told her to give him somebody, and that was the person she gave. And she came to my ass. She knew she can come get the weed from me because that was my girlfriend's girl. Yeah, I mean, that was my girlfriend's like home girl, ride or die chick. You know what I'm saying? And she came she came two different times and bought some weed from me. The first time she came and got 7 grams, but the camera and the camera wasn't working, so they didn't have nothing but the audio. So she had to come back and buy another. I mean, so she had to come back again. And the second time they had her on video, had me on video and recording, audio of me selling her some weed. And maybe I want to say 2 to 3 weeks later, they come to arrest me. And I'm coming out my bathroom. I hear a loud noise, and I thought it was my neighbors upstairs. My upstairs neighbors, they dropped something or something that fell. But it was my door being broke open, and it was the police coming in. And once I realized, I didn't realize who it was coming in, so I stepped back and reached for my gun, and that was it. They just started letting off fire. They just let off shots. They shot at me 29 times. They hit me 9 to 12, and they were point blank range. They was about 5 to 6 feet away from me.
Jeez.
So that's the reason I'm alive, because they shot me with rifles. I got shot with M1 carbine, MP5. I got shot with assault rifles, and they being that they were so such clock. Yeah, exactly. And being that they was in close proximity to me, that's the reason why I survived, because all the bullets was just going straight through.
Reminds me of that Breonna Taylor case, man.
Right before Breonna Taylor. Yeah, right before Breonna Taylor. Yeah. Yeah, I got shot 10 days. I got shot 10 days after Walter Scott got murdered. In South Carolina, like 200 miles away. Like, so they came in my house, they started shooting, they lied. They said the reason they shot me is because I shot at them, which was a lie. When they tested my gun, they said my gun wasn't fired. And they lied and said that they knocked on my door and announced their presence before they came in, which was a lie, and we proved that because I had cameras outside my house, and they're just showing them coming up straight up to my door, busting my door open. So Jesus. they had a warrant where you must knock and announce before you come in. So they broke the law by doing that, which is why I won the lawsuit, because they kept lying. At first they said they knocked and announced. They said I shot at them, and then they said I pointed the gun at them, which is why they shot me. So they kept having to rechange their stories, and they kept saying that I wasn't lying about what was going on. So I end up getting the lawsuit for $11.25 million.
Sheesh.
Out of them. I mean, yes, there's a lot of money, but that's before Dr. Bills.
Hey, listen, let's not
Bills and lawyer fees.
Let's not mislead the people. We know a lot of people got to get paid out of that too.
Right. The doctors got to get paid. The lawyers got to get paid. Taxes got to get paid.
Still, that's a good chunk of change to leave with. I mean,
I had a little bit over 3 left.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's.
I mean, it definitely ain't worth
money.
It definitely is not worth it. I can tell you
that's what I'm saying.
It's definitely not worth it.
Like, you got all this money, but look what you had to trade for it, and you didn't even ask for it. Like, it's a weird dynamic with
all over some weed, all over some weed. I'm literally 15 grams of weed. Literally 15 grams a week.
That's never worth it, man. And even with the money, it's like you can't even really enjoy life because the situation. Like, that shit is trash. Like,
I mean,
you can enjoy life.
Because I had a good time before. You know what I mean? So I mean, I had a lot of fun back in my early days. So I was kind of a homebody anyway. So it really didn't matter. Okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I really like I wasn't going to clubs and nothing like that. Back I was cool. I sat in the house and played my video games. and went to work and came back in the house, smoked my weed, sold my weed, and did it all over again.
And like, that's when you started the gaming lounge? Is that just being at the house? Or?
Not at all. Before I got shot, I was doing some music with a couple friends of mine. And I'm not really a rapper. I mean, I was just trying to be behind the scenes, but I'd be for more promotion. I don't mind as long as somebody trying to do something, I'll help promote, as long as it's, I mean, something constructive, legitimate. And I had got shot, which had put a hold on, because we were supposed to start a YouTube channel back about 6 years. Well, not what I've been shot 6 years, so about 8 years ago, we were supposed to start a YouTube channel. But actually the first we did a pilot, and the Walter Scott was the first case we had spoke on. And damn, like 10 days after that, I got shot. So it kind of put a damper. I mean, my dude's damn. It put a damper on that. I mean, on that. And when I came home from the hospital, I've always been in the battle rap. So when I came home from the hospital, I was getting caught up on my battle rap, and I've passed out. I woke up to Pretty Money, roast blogger Pretty Money, roasting Battle Truth. And this goes on for about 3 or 4 blogs.
Oh,
like, who the hell is this dude?
Hold on. Before we jump to that, I did want to ask about just how were you processing everything that had happened? Like after you was in the hospital, you realized like what the situation was, like mentally. How did that affect you?
Yeah.
Like, was one of them things that made you feel like, damn, like this the situation? Everything's changing for the worse, or did you try to like look at it with like a positive outlook?
I had a positive outlook. I was always a person that adapted to my surroundings without too many complaints. So it was. I mean, when I opened my eyes, I see my mom's right there. I see my bitch right there. I was cool. Like, all right, good. Everything is good. So. That's pretty much what I was worried about when I first came to, because when I came to, I spent 6 weeks in a coma, then another 6 weeks in the hospital past that. But when I came out of the coma, it was to a police officer telling me that I had a shootout with the police. And I'm like, what? Come on, man. I'm like, dude, like, yeah, because I was arrested. You know what I'm saying? Because I was under arrest. So I had the sheriffs in my hospital room at all times. They wouldn't let me date out. Yeah, I was escorted all around the hospital. They had to check rooms before I went in the hospital rooms and all types of stuff. Like, how the hell am I escape out of? All right, whatever. But they just had a lot of security on me in the hospital. And I'm telling the sheriff, like, dude, I'm a nigga. I ain't shoot at no motherfucking police. Stop playing with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a nigga. Like, stop. They were, I ain't right. Like, nah, come on, bro. He like, nah, really, you had to shoot out with the police. And I'm like, for real? He was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, I don't believe I did, but I'll take your word for it. Like, because I didn't remember. Like, I did, because I literally didn't remember. I got shot. I felt one shot right up under my right arm, and I thought I was dead. In my mind, I was gone. And I woke up in the hospital, so I was okay, whatever y'all say, I'm gonna ride with that until I can start remembering shit. And once I start remembering everything that started coming to, I'm like, nah, I didn't shoot at nobody. I don't even remember the shootout itself.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, nah, I ain't shoot at nobody. Nah, y'all lying, but okay, whatever. And I mean,
so how easy was it for you to find a lawyer to take your case?
Oh my God! They were probably going right to him.
That was super easy.
He opened up the door. There was a whole line of them. He just had to pick which one looked good.
Nah, it didn't. I had a lawyer before I came out of the coma.
Yeah, bro.
I had a lawyer before I came out of the coma.
That's an easy win.
Before I came out of the coma. Yeah. It really wasn't an easy win, because at the time it was the police word against mine. It really wasn't, but being that they came in my house and took my DVRs to my cameras and shit. They was taking my electronics out of my house, I guess, because they thought something might have been recording them and they didn't want to get recorded doing something illegal or something.
Wow.
I'm guessing. But
they ultimately tried to sabotage the shit. Sheesh.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, they tried to set me up real good. They really tried to set me up good. They took the clip out of my gun and make it look like I had an extendo clip on my gun and took pictures of it.
Yo, they have to make it out like he did it, bro.
Yeah,
they messed up.
I mean, that was the story. I shot at the police, which is why they shot me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. I mean, okay, that's what the story was until I came out of the coma and I told the police like, no, they was like, how many bullets was in your gun? 14 in the chamber, 1 in the head. It wasn't fired. No, it was never fired. And they did the ballistic test. They knew my gun wasn't fired before I told them it wasn't fired. Because they did the
test. It would have the residue in the barrel.
Right. They did all that before I came out of the coma. Before I got out of the coma, all that was done. Mm-hmm. But if I would have died, it would have went under the table.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, they got the narrative at that point.
Right. But being that I didn't die, I came back and I contested their narrative. And it's like, okay, now we got it. Now it's a story against story. And once my lawyer got my DVR to my camera and saying that 11-second footage of them not knocking on my door, and so it was an open and shut case then. It was like, okay. So it wasn't really a really hard case to try. It was just the fact that they kept trying to make me out to be somebody who wanted to have a shootout with the police or somebody who had animosity towards the police and really wanted to do something to them. So that's basically what their narrative was. I was an angry black guy who wanted to have a confrontation with the police.
Yeah. Of course, they do that with all of us.
Over a couple grams of weed.
Over 15 grams of weed.
And he just decided you're just gonna go
grams.
Buck wild crazy at the police.
Over 15 grams of weed. Exactly. But that's how it was. And it was.
How much of a spotlight did this put on you in terms of like, did this get like news coverage and shit like that?
It was very little news coverage, and that was kind of my lawyers kind of liked it that way because they didn't want like they didn't know my background, they didn't know if I had extensive shit going on. You know what I'm saying before that happened, so it was kind of trying to keep it under wraps for the most part. It was like, okay, I'm cool with that because I'm not a spotlight type of guy. I'm like, hey, look what happened to me. All right, whatever. I'm gonna go back home and lay in my bed and play my video game and wait on this lawsuit to settle because I know they're lying. And the only thing we have to do is catch them up in these lies. But
okay,
I didn't. It really wasn't a hard adjustment before. I mean, like when I first came to it wasn't hard adjusting until I got home. When I was in the hospital, I was cool because I was super optimistic and shit. I'm super optimistic. Like, yeah, this ain't gonna hold me down. I'm gonna be up running around in no time. Until the nurses start telling me my list of injuries and shit. And it's like, whoa. Well, okay, you're trying to do the impossible here. So, all right, what you'll do is just go chill and relax. You know what I'm saying? My lawyers was don't get on social media, don't get on Facebook. Just social media, period. Don't get on nothing. Don't talk to nobody. Stay to yourself because you don't know who they're sending at you. You don't know what they're trying to get out of you. You know, you say something to the wrong person, they can jeopardize your whole case. So don't get on social media. Don't do none of that.
Social media like that around that time?
Facebook. Okay. I did Facebook, and that was mainly to keep up with family. But I wasn't posting pictures all the time. No, I grew up selling dope. So cameras and shit, that was a no-no. Yeah, when we grew up with cameras and shit, that was a no-no. So I didn't do that when I was, being I was down here, I was selling, even though it was just weed, I still wasn't on no brag. Oh, look at me type shit. No, I've never been that type of guy. So it wasn't really hard to stay off of it. I was like, okay, cool. But I did remember one time when I went on there to cut my dreads, when I was documenting my mom cutting my dreads, and I went on Facebook Live. The very first time I ever been on Facebook Live, and I got lawyers calling my phone, get off of Facebook Live, get out of it. I'm like, dude, like I'm not even talking. I'm just documenting me cut my hair. I've been growing my hair for 10 fucking years. Like, we were literally not doing anything but cutting my hair. And they like, get off of social media, get off of social. I'm like, man, listen, I'm not saying nothing. I didn't do nothing. But they was just so paranoid that it was like, okay, you don't want to do anything to jeopardize this case.
To jeopardize the shit, yeah.
Anything to jeopardize it. Because anything they could have used against me, they tried to use against me. And they would have used it. Anything.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. What you got, was that a settlement or was that just a straight judge ruling like, yo?
No, it was a settlement. That was a settlement. It was a settlement. They had police got this thing called insurance that if they do something, the insurance will cover it without them having to come out of pocket or having them getting reprimanded for it. And they had insurance of $3 million. Well, because I got shot by three different cops, and they all work with separate entities of police. So I was suing three different police entities at one time.
So you were going in and out of court.
Yes, for 5 years. For 5 years.
For
5 years.
Let me ask you this, right? What was the first number y'all was trying to get out of them?
Like the insurance they had, the most we could get without going to trial, without it being settled in court, was $13 million.
Mm-hmm.
It was $3 million in one insurance policy, and then $10 million in the other insurance policy. So the most I could have got without getting a judgment from the judge would have been, or from the jury, would have been $13 million. The most I could have got, because of the way they got the insurance settlements, the way they got that set up. I could only got $13 million tops.
Wow.
But one entity got out of the way early. Like they got out of the way real early, like 3 years into the case, they got out of the way. It was like, okay, we got $3 million in insurance, we're gonna give you 2.75. All right, we'll take it just because y'all getting out of the way. You got to cut them a break if they're getting. I mean, if they're trying to settle within the limits of settling of the insurance policy, you have to try to settle within them. So it was like, okay, gotta take the 2.75 and save y'all.
Greedy type shit.
No, it's not that you want to be greedy. It's just that you don't want people to think that you didn't try to do everything you could to settle it out of there, and then they'd be like, well, no, because if you go to the jury, they can only award you $1 million.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, you can go, you can fight it and keep going, but the jury can give you $100,000, and that's what you had to take. So it was like, okay, 2.75, I give you a $250,000 haircut. That's basically what it was, because that's all they had left in insurance was $3 million and $250,000. That's all that was left. All right, no, hold on, is that right? Yeah, that was right. $250,000 what was left out of the first lawsuit. It was 2.75 out of the first one, and then the second lawsuit settlement was 8.5 million for the second lawsuit settlement, which took the extra 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I gave him that because the judge, my lawyer, made me believe that the judge had my lawyers believing that they could have appealed it and pushed the case out longer.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, I ain't really trying to push the case out no damn 3 to 4 more years. It's already been 5 years.
You got to do a number.
Let's try to get this out the way. Yeah, all right, cool. I gave them a good, decent deal on theirs. They got $250,000 haircut. Y'all have more money in insurance, so I'll cut y'all a little bit more break if y'all give me this.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them give me 8.5, and we can walk away from that. So it totaled out to be 11.25.
Damn.
Sheesh.
That was the total to be 11.25, but that was before damn Dr. Bills and lawyers and I thought I was in the money. I thought I was in the money until they started hitting me with them bills and shit. And I'm like, whoa, like, okay, all right, oh well. It is what it is. I take this and try to flip it and try to make something so I can make sure my niece don't ever see the inside of a penitentiary.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's pretty much what it is now. Like, to make sure my niece have a good life. I'm cool with mine.
Okay.
But it was some bullshit by the police, and they tried everything they could to excoriate me, to make me seem out to be like I was looking for beef with them when I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.